Okay guys, may I have your attention please? Once again, we are going to start your Ielts mock test, and today we are going to conduct your mock test of 3 modules. The first module is going to be listening, then reading, and finally writing. So the first thing is you have to sit here for around 3 hours patiently, right? Switch off your mobile gadgets for the time being, or you can put them on silent, dead silent, no vibration, nothing else. All right. The next thing is we are going to start the test with listening. You're going to get this answer sheet and you'll write your name down on it and all that. The thing is, when listening test starts, initially they'll give you some time to read the questions. But before that, there will be some portion of audio, like Cambridge IELTS and this and that and all that. So during this time, you need to take a look at all 4 sections of your listening, especially part 4, and try to read half questions of part 4 as well. How many questions are there in each section? 10. So try to read at least 5 questions of part 4 as well. After that, when in the audio they say section 1, come back. And after that, they will start with section 1. They will say, you now have some time to look at questions 1 to 5 or 1 to 4 or 1 to 6. So just read those questions like 1 to 5, 1 to 4, 1 to 6, right? And then they will give you more time. In part 1, they will say, you now have some time to look at questions 6 to 10. So then read 6 to 10. And don't just do this thing that when they give you first half minute and you start reading all the questions. This is how you'll not be able to read the questions carefully. Okay, just read 1 to 5 and then 6 to 10. After 6 to 10, they will say that is the end of section 1. You now have half a minute to check your answers. There is nothing to check. If you want to check anything like spelling and all that, you can always do that when you are transferring your answers from listening question booklet to the answer sheet. So spend this time in reading the questions of next section. Section 2. This half minute and the next half minute, it will make 1 minute. So again, I tell you, if you read and understand the questions, you will find the answer. Whenever your answer is wrong, it's not that you don't understand the audio, you don't understand the question. Most of the time, it's the understanding of the question which is going to lead you towards the correct answer. So section 2 will start again, questions 11 to 15, one type. 16 to 20, another type, and between that they will give you half minute to read the questions. At the end of section 2, they'll say you now have half a minute to check your answers. So again, don't check your answers, move on to section 3, and section 3 is for multiple choice questions. There'll be more and more multiple choice questions, so this half minute, and you need more time to read multiple choice questions with options. For options, remember 3 type of words are important: nouns, verbs, adjectives. If option is long, don't read all the option, just focus nouns, verbs, adjectives, because as the audio proceeds, at the same time you can read the options as well, right? So section 3 questions 21 to 26, they can be multiple choice, 27 to 30 they can be matching, and they will give you break in the middle to read the questions. At the end of section 3, they will say that is the end of section 3. You now have half a minute to check your answers. Now what will you do? Jump to section 4. In section 4, they will not give you any time in the middle. Right? Questions 31 to 40 without any break, and part 4 is a lecture. Audio is going to be very fluent. Okay, audio will be fluent, 31 to 40. Now in section 4, you have to do one thing. They will give you some bullet points. Bullet points which contain the questions, you will read them all very carefully. The bullet points which do not contain the question, over there you will underline one clue word so that you track the audio, that audio has reached here, now audio is here, now audio is here, just because of that, okay? And 1 minute time will be given, so read all the questions, and in part 4, most of the time we have one word only. Whatever is written before the word, that blank, or after the blank, you need to look for the synonym of that. And when you read the questions in such a way that the answer is going to be the name of a person, answer is going to be the name of a process, answer is going to be singular, answer is going to be plural, answer will be, now you can also guess what part of speech the answer is going to be. It can be noun, verb or adjective. These three types are the most important in IELTS listening part 1 and part 3. Most of the time answers are nouns. Sometimes answers are verbs and sometimes they are adjectives. So you just need to see what is before and what is after. And then after that they will say that is the end of your IELTS listening test. You now have some time to check your answers. At the same time, you can start transferring your answers, and as you are transferring your answers for part 1 and part 4, you have to read the questions there in the blanks, because you know when you read the word you have written in the blank, you read it carefully, then you realize whether your answer is right or wrong. So at that point, you can see if you need any change, any spelling mistake or anything like that. In part 1 and part 4, you have to write words for your answers. In part 2 and part 3, it's only ABC. Multiple choice, sometimes matching, sometimes maps. So for all these questions for part 2 and part 3, for the most part you have to write ABC or any labels like that. And part 1 and part 4 you have to write words for that. All clear? Okay, so this is how you are going to take your listening test, and throughout the test be active and alert, and the most important thing is tracking the audio. Tracking the audio means if audio is on question 2, you are there. If audio moves on, you move on. So if you are at the right place where there is the audio, you will find the answer. And if you are before the audio and for example, you are waiting for the answer and they say that is the end of part 1. Okay, what happened? Okay, so it should not be like that. Track the audio, go ahead with audio, move on with audio, and you will find all the answers. Okay, thank you.